again! Akshone.
Wow, we always have to wait a second because it usually doesn't pick up the first like couple sentences we say.
It's a smart piece of tech, but it's not smart enough.
That's right. But we're here now, guys. How's it going? I know, despite what the thumbnail says, it's not a drunk.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until someone said to me 30 minutes ago. So I was like,
that was a mistake. But that's okay.
I was trying to remember what happened last time because it was drunk. The last review was drunk, but we didn't do them close enough together to think, oh no, we're doing 2 in a row. So I don't know what we had in between that was. Maybe the Picard Trader came out or something. And we
it was probably beat up Picard.
Yeah. Weird. But welcome, one and all.
Mm-hmm. Now, disclaimer, just off the hop. Samuel's been having a little bit of internet issues today, where it sometimes drops out. So if it goes away, just check back, keep hitting refresh, and we will, or check out for another live stream, depending on how long it takes.
Which is weird because I'm on Ethernet cable now, so it's just the house internet. It's nothing to do with the Wi-Fi itself, which last time was a little bit of the problem, but
yeah,
fun times.
Indeed.
But I mean, I think it'll be fine. Just pretty fine. But yeah, we're back again, Stuart. We had our very successful drunk live. You guys are great. We did a good bit of super chats, helps us out, and we're on course for a good final month of income before the darker days of post Picard. But we'll hit that bridge when we come to it. So you guys have done great. We had some great conversations. Obviously remember it all, but it was so many things we said. I don't remember necessarily what we said in it, just the fact that we said things.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I took a look at the thumbnails for this season, and I was actually surprised that a lot of these episodes were this early. They're actually season 3. I thought a lot of them were much later, like season 4, season 5.
Although, actually, we were saying this before the live, we can't have used the thumbnails. I didn't make all the season thumbnails last season, before this. So how did we know what it was?
Did we just go on titles? I don't know.
Yeah, I must have just shown the picture of the Connie and the galaxy, because I didn't do the entire season. So this would be kind of cool. Everyone can follow along with us. I did Insomnia one night, guys. I just made all the season in one go. It sucked.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it was kind of piecemeal last time.
Yeah, it was like 7 in a row, which takes a bit of time. Yeah. So what's the format today that we're doing?
Oh, we're going to be taking a look at the thumbnail for each episode and kind of we'll each give you our own recollections, our own memories of what the episode's about, and give a description or a synopsis of the episode, and we will then you guys get to vote whether whose is better, mine or Samuel's, and then we'll kind of give a early preemptive, did we like it or not. And then it's always fun to go back and watch these later after we've reviewed them all, because a lot of times things change, and it's interesting to take a look at that, just based on memory and what you remember from the episode, because a lot of times you remember the good parts and then you watch it and it's like there was more bad in this episode than good, but you just remembered the good, or vice versa.
I remember one last season I didn't remember any of the B plot.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this happened. I was like, did it? And so yeah, you guys are going to be ones that judge and vote on who wins. So it's basically, we entertain you and you vote. Now I think a lot of these are pretty definitive. So therefore it's about the little details that we pick up on. I think unlike last season and where we had quite a lot we didn't know as well, hopefully we'll have a lot more, and kind of like I say, the small details, names, places, fun moments, and I guess things that kind of stood out to us in the viewings. But I will start sharing while you talk about super chats and you guys start super chatting.
That's right. So guys, if you want to help us out, and you know the routine, yeah, my internet cut out. Anyway, guys, I'm back. So, yeah, super chats, joining the channel, all great. And yeah. Plus, we have a special live this week on Wednesday, which we'll tell you about at the end of this. Might be having a guest star joining us. So, anyway, yeah. But yeah, check out the links down below. As you guys know, there's Trek Yards merchandise from the Teespring store, other cool stuff as well, and great ways to support us. So if you can, please do. And super chats are great as well. 54 people here. Make sure you hit that like button. Getting the likes up is always awesome on these lives. So we can hit 50 right off the hop. Should be easy. Just everyone that's here, hit the like button if you haven't already. And if there's anything you remember about these particular episodes while we're talking about them, if you want to let us know, little facts or anything we miss, it's a great way to do that as well. Even behind the scenes stuff or bloopers or, something that not everybody would know. It would be awesome if you could share that as well. So, good way to do that. And yeah, that's kind of where we sit. And we're going to be, like Samuel said too, we're going to be looking at each thumbnail, so you get a little bit of a hint or a reminder as to what the episode's about. But with season 3, there's a lot of B plots, C plots. So when we do our brief little synopsis, it'll kind of depend on the details on who's actually got the better synopsis and actually covered more information. So it'll be interesting to see who you guys pick as far as who wins for the synopsis thing, because with the B plots and C plots, it's the little details that are going to matter when we say those. So, and a lot of them, I don't remember the B plots a lot of times until the episode starts. So, just pointing that out.
You're like, oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or sometimes the B plot's actually better than the main story, Yeah,
I've said that. And do you want to, you said to me just before we started about memorable, how memorable, or you're surprised about them. Do you want to reiterate that briefly?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking through the thumbnails here, and it's just, I didn't expect a lot of these to be season 3.
Yeah.
A lot of them really feel like season 4 or 5, because, well, I'll get into them as we explain each one, which ones I thought were a little bit later.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize how good season 3 was as a whole. And I think that's why everybody latches on to season 3 and says, this is where it gets good, guys.
Yeah, we kind of made fun of it yesterday, or when we did the Drunk Live. People say season 3, but 1 and 2 are especially 2 has some decent stuff. And 3 is when you should start. And what could 3 possibly give us to warrant that? And turns out a lot of good stuff, a lot of memorable stuff. And you can see why with the new uniforms, I even just remember the vague vibe that everything fits better. Like, even the set seems to be lit slightly better. Everything's just a refined. Like, it took 3 years to get them to refined, squeaky clean. Then it becomes this same formula for the next 4 years. It was just changing stories. Like, this is where the formula was found.
This is where the lighting really gets locked down. Yep. Those uniforms get locked down. The looks for everybody get. Yep. It's really, it took them 2 seasons to get here, but
it took them 1 season to get the characters. And that is what we've relearned. They were very strong going in. So just everything else had to catch up.
I'm just looking at these. There's going to be a lot of high scores in my book, I think, unfortunately. Well, that being said, there's a few low scored ones. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
But that means that knowing that you're going to have to taper out of 10, because you can't give the season like 7 9s.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's going to have to be... you have to think of it in comparison to the whole season. But I think if we, as we start to do it as we go, we'll be able to judge that better and not take 3 months off.
Yeah, and that's why the reviews are good, because there's other things in the story that can bring it up or bring it down.
Yep.
So, all right.
So do we have super chats?
We do. We got one from Bryce Hardy of $5. Thank you very much. The Defector is a great episode.
Really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not the season though, so.
Well, it is.
Oh, is it?
Yep, episode 10.
Yeah, I thought we did the Defector.
We did already. That's why the thumbnail's not with you, but it is with me.
Oh, that makes no sense. Okay.
Well, it does. You didn't need it.
Oh, I don't have it. delete those right away.
Well, there you go.
Justin Hampton, $2. Hey guys,
Hey,
45 here, 75 watching, 50 likes. Hashtag make Justin or make JS pay. Who's that? Not Justin Hampton, not Jeff. Who's paying? Who's JS?
Everybody. Hopefully. So do you want to start, Stuart?
Sure.
Okay, and some of these I went for the visual rather than the story. So this first one obviously is like the first second of the episode. Doesn't just tell you anything about the actual. Anyway, right, I'll let you talk, Stuart, and guys, listen carefully and let's see who gets the most right. So go, Stuart.
So season 1 or season 3, episode 1, Evolution. This is the one where they're investigating the sun being sucked into a thingy, and Dr. Stubbs comes on board, and all of a sudden the Enterprise starts malfunctioning, and they can't quite figure out why. Turns out it's Wesley's science experiment, the little nanites that are like evolving and kind of taking over the ship. So yeah, that's all I remember. I know the ship's like getting pulled in or something. It's in danger of being destroyed because of it, and it's just all Wesley's fault. So there you go. That's my review. Samuel, come back.
Oh, that was quick.
That was quick.
All right. So this is the guy from Scrubs. He's a scientist man, and he comes aboard. And this is a weird season opener because it's not a very strong one from what I recall, or at least kind of plain. Therefore, I've never gone back and really watched it. So he's sciencing this star, and something goes haywire as things always do, and his research is to blame. I'm assuming because guest star. Turns out he was probably like sacrificing the needs of the quality of the research in exchange for the results, and it went haywire. I'm sure Troy gets a throwaway scene in there about something. I know there's a fun scene with Crusher coming back, and then but Wesley is in the season. Isn't Wesley in the season? Yeah, he is. So they have a nice bit of scenes. I think Beverly gets quite a bit of time in this episode. Everyone says they missed her. And he gets luckily saved. His experiment gets saved. No one gets blowed up, and he gets sent off in shame because he scienced badly.
All right, who did better? Who hit more of the? Well, I think you hit more. I think you totally missed the main plot.
Oh yeah, I mean, something to do with the guy's science, but that's all I would think would happen. It is not memorable at all for me. I have no idea why evolution's relevant.
Well,
like literally, I have
Julius,
no idea.
Olivia Julius throws in $2. Hashtag Picard fertilize. What a shock. Jeff Jacobs, $2. 50 and 15 made the Jays pay. Justin again at 100. Hashtag make Jays where Jeff pay. Justin Hampton, $2. 50 yay at 100. The two Jays pay. Shut up, Wesley. We got the Jays.
Funny.
And they're both super chatting $2, which is blue, so you call them the Blue Jays.
So who got close then, guys? We need some votes. Who got closer, me or Stuart? Because it only goes from you guys. But yeah, I just remember he'd probably science, but that's it. Like, not at all memorable for me whatsoever.
And if you joined the channel and you got the little emojis for Commander or Captain, you can put those to pick who did the best synopsis. But yeah, let us know.
We need at least one vote, guys. At least one vote.
Okay, we're just gonna sit here and quiet until they pick. Captain Foley, says Chris McMurray. Foley, Captain. Captain wins this round. So that's 4 for the captain.
Yeah, I mean, it's not at all memorable for me. Not a single sausage of this one. Completely.
Oh, it's actually fairly good.
Okay, might go first, Stuart. Or might go first next. Okay, so Ensigns of Command. I really like this one. This is the one where Data goes to help a colony. It's a really kind of cool set. He has to help them. He lands with a shuttle pod, obviously. You can see in the picture. He has memorable 2 guest actors. And the colony is doing things that they really shouldn't be doing, and there's this guy who's kind of more in charge, and he's kind of abusing that power a little bit. And this lady tries to convince Data, as in Starfleet, to help, but there's Data tells relays to Captain Picard about the problems. He doesn't want to help, and at the end, Data ends up taking the law into his own hands. And in a beautifully iconic scene, he phases the water aqueduct that goes up this mountains. A beautiful shot, thereby destroying the tech that would keep this colony afloat and not needing Federation help. And by doing so, they couldn't rebuild it in time. They have to use Federation's assistance, which would force the guy to give up some of his power. And Data kind of betrayed the Prime Directive, but in a very sort of like, oh look, your aqueduct is broken, oh no, sort of way, and he ends up helping, and it's quite a good Brent episode. Don't remember the B plot with the Enterprise, no idea, but I remember being a good moral question one, and Data going outside of the box to help.
All right, I'm back. So it's my turn now.
Yes.
Tensions of Command. This is where there's a radioactive thingy, and Data goes down to get the radioactive thingy, and he forgets he loses his memory and forgets what's going on. So he becomes the Iceman, like from Top Gun. Iceman, get it? Anyway, oh, wait a minute. Is this that one? See, I don't even know. Is this the one where he shoots the aqueduct because the people won't leave? Yes, this is a different one. All right, so yeah, this is where he goes down. They gotta get these colonists to move for some reason. I can't remember what, and they keep refusing. Data keeps trying to talk them into it, and eventually he shoots the aqueduct to because that was their crowning achievement and what the reason they wanted to stick around, and yeah, it kills the aqueduct. That's all I remember. Sorry, I had it mixed up with another one.
Yeah, I was happy there for a second if you'd kept going. I was like, ha ha ha. That's not that one.
Yeah.
Right. So who won that one? I feel pretty confident about this.
I think you won that one because you talked for a long time.
I also enjoy this episode. And people saying.
Oh, is this the Sheliak one?
Yes, which I didn't remember, but if I'd remembered that, I could have said that entire subplot.
Gotcha.
But that makes it memorable. It's just you can't tell with this effing thumbnail. So that's not helpful.
This is like the treaty, like having to read between the lines.
Oh, it's a great art design of the Sheliak. What a cool thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sam, you definitely deserve that round because like I went on the wrong. I went down the wrong road there for a second.
Hey,
all right.
It was a long road, but you did get from there to here finally.
Right.
Boo. Okay. The Survivor. Have fun.
Oh, this is an easy one. So the Survivor. This is where they show up at the planet. The planet's been devastated except for one little patch of green, and there's a little house on it, and this old man and this old lady. And why did you survive? Oh, I don't know why we survived. And then the Husak attack. That's what killed everybody. So the mystery of why they're protected is unknown. The Enterprise sticks around to protect them from any Husak that return, and then all of a sudden the Husak come and they destroy the little patch of green, and Picard's got a feeling, so he like sticks around, and like hours later the little patch of green returns, and it turns out that this old dude is an alien, and he used to be kind of reckless in his youth, whatever. Finally settled down with this lady, chose to grow old, not pick up any arms to fight anybody, doesn't want to hurt anybody. That was his big thing. He never wanted to fight with the colonists to protect them. And eventually, it's revealed that he actually killed all Husak everywhere with one thought: the old, the young, wherever they were in the galaxy, they're just gone now. And he's obviously feels bad about that, and so he wants to just live there with his wife that he controlled with his wife. And there's this stupid subplot with the mind rape of Troy with the music box, and she's going crazy because this is not the first time this season that she gets mind raped. But anyway, so yeah, there's that subplot. I don't think there's anything else. There's got to be another B story in there somewhere, but I don't know. That's my summation. So, but anyway, yeah. Then Picard's like, okay, we'll leave you in peace to do your thing, and he's like a glowy guy. That's it.
I actually heard you through my headphones at times. I had to unplug them because you were loud.
Oh, I was just speaking normally.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So I remember quite liking this one. More in the idea rather than the actual execution, because I think it's actually too slow for its own good. That's just the vibe I get. The lead actor man reminds me of Michael Forrest from TOS. Don't know why, apart from his look and feel. But I remember it's fun. They go to this really destroyed, barren planet, and there's this very green one place. There's a house in the middle of it, and they're like, "Sir, there's a one living thing. What data? Must be put by amazing force field because you know they were attacked or something. Well, let's go investigate." They beam down these two nice people, and the lady makes them like tea and often crumpets or some sort of food snack. It's really friendly, and the man's less happy to see them, but is still fine. And they sort of focus on the woman more. Out of the two who has talking, he's more strong and silent. And they're saying, well, what happened? And they express, well, hey, you know, the aliens attacked and they chose not to kill us for some reason. Maybe there's an energy field, maybe whatever, but they left us alone. And they go back to the ship and they're very confused. And this whole thing about the readings don't make sense. Nothing makes sense. They keep going down, talk to them at least twice more. And at some point, the guy gets pissed. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, this alien ship comes in. I'm sure it's a redress of the... I think it's that black redress of every ship ever. I think it's the one with the pointy bits. And you see that great bit with the outer points. And like blooms. And it's like... It's huge. I think it's a big... forced fake model shot with it being really too big to Enterprise. And Data's like, oh my god! Quote, he says, oh my god! Like that. And then they attack... Worf's like, it's powerful, so powerful, and then but it chooses not to attack the Enterprise, and it attacks the planet, and it bombs them, and then we assume they're dead, and Picard thinks they start walking away, and it's like that doesn't make any sense because why have they let them live? Why are they then come attack him? Why are they not attack the Enterprise? Why are they not do anything? It's too weird. So they stop, they wait a little bit, they come back, and oh my god, it's all back again, it's all fine, and they beam down, and it's just the guy. Or I guess the girl. Probably I think the girl must be there as well, and she doesn't remember them. I think it's like a total reset. The guy remembers them. I think he acts along. Yeah, that's what it is. He doesn't know who they are. He doesn't, and then he lets slip that he does remember previous conversations, and then he's like, "Damn it, you caught me!" And then she disappears because it turns out he's an alien, as they often are, and she's a hologram. The whole place is a hologram, and you know, an alien race came to. He had his planet was his home. But it wasn't his native home, and these aliens did come and destroy the entire planet, but he was able to survive, and he feels guilty, and so he recreated his house and his wife just to be friendly with after the mass destruction of their entire planet. Oops. And leave me alone in my dwelling in my sadness, please, and don't tell people. He's like, fine, sure, I won't tell you, and we'll go now. And the resolution is just the reveal of the story. Can't hear you.
I said so. Vote. Who won that one? Justin Hampton, $2. Yay, 50 at 100. 2 J's pay. Shut up, Leslie. I think I read that one already. Olivia Julius, $2. Commander Cocking's picture because he won the last one. And Jarzy at $2. Ensigns of Command gave us proper phasers at least. And Samuel, I got to say, this one's called The Survivors, not The Survivor.
Oh, okay.
So the thumbnail's a little bit wrong, but that's okay.
That's weird.
Let's see. Captain wins this one.
Really?
Foley.
But I said so many things.
Well, so did I. But I knew the name of the species that attacked them. You forgot the subplot.
Okay.
No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying.
No, darn. I gave so much. I don't know how much. Hey, I don't know how much I was right with. I mean, I might have been. I'm thinking I got so much, but a lot of it could be wrong.
And yes, the Hussig ship is reused.
Yeah,
it's a cool ship, though.
Yeah, this one's one of the better redresses. And
Supercoop says the captain, but just barely.
Yeah.
Kind of a tie, but leaning towards Foley. Okay, see, there you go.
Is it? Do you remember if at the end he fakes that he doesn't know who they are and then lets slip? Is that what happens at the end?
Oh, he knows who they are, and she says, "Why are they back?"
Okay, so
she doesn't forget who they are.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, it's memorable in the basic premise, but I don't remember being like, it's like, yeah, you know. Oh, there he goes. Back to the academy with you. No, no, no. Oh no. Are we still? Yeah, we're still streaming just fine. But the next one, he watches the Watchers. Let's see if Stu actually comes back. There we
go. Back. Yay.
Okay, who watches the Watchers then? I'll go.
Go first, right? Yes.
Yes. Alrighty. Okay, so who watches the Watchers? This is the other First Contact. Was the other duck blind is what I mean. So there's this primitive. I think we start on the planet and there is you see this set of people and they're Vulcany and we're all confused and it's suddenly revealed there's either Troy or Riker or both. I know they're at the end in makeup and they're both in this colony and we cut back to the planet, come back to the ship and it's like this is a completely separate planet, completely separate part of the quadrant, and yet the race here are on a similar evolutionary path to Vulcans without the logic things. They have the same makeup and it's just an interesting concept and they are here to duck blind, our First Contact insurrection, even with the same, there's this base in the mountain which is invisible, whole same plot, and they're here to investigate and learn because it's really strange. I mean, we've seen enough humans be evolved throughout the galaxy, but to see Vulcans, pretty interesting, and there might be some clues to Vulcan evolution, maybe. And they go down, they investigate, but then at one point the duck blind goes poorly, as it tends to. And I remember I think the base itself has a anomaly damage thing. I know it goes visible, but I think people in it die. I think it like explodes and stuff. And then this lady and I think her brother or husband find it, and they bring the humans back to the camp. Never having seen people before. That's when they've got to send Troy and Riker definitely in full makeup to go investigate. And you get this whole thing of thinking, oh, they're demons or aliens, whatever. Very, very confusing, and they've got to save their people and also God's technology, because they can only be gods. And then they kidnap this lady, as you can see, and she bows at him. He's the god of Picard, you know, he's the god from the future, a god from from the stars, chosen the planet, and there's a great Picard speech saying, you know, what is merely technology to us is power and godhood to you, and while you are above the stars and I theoretically am this powerful being, I am just also a man. And then there's the great scene where then right at the end to prove that there is, you know, there's a seat here with the duck blind, but it's all okay. Picard beams down, and because they've now got Riker and Troy hostage, and they've got this crossbow that the husband or brother, I think husband, and Picard's there saying, I want to help, I want to be kind, and then he shoots Picard. Oh dear! You get a great stunt. She yells. They then shoot the other guy. But with stun, I believe, with the phaser. And they beam back with Enterprise. You get a nice conversation with him, explain the same thing. He's like, "Oh no, I'm not a god." And it's really interesting defense of the lady saying, you know, you probably shouldn't have come to say hi. Now we know, but you've opened our eyes and we can be different now. And it's interesting, and it's got some good Picard stuff, I do recall. And yeah, they bring back Picard from the dead, quote unquote dead, and they bring the other guy back from the dead, and it's all magic, but it's not, it's just tech. And he gets a great scene of Deanna being very nice. Crusher being really nice about thinking you're dead. And it's not really being dead, you know. Yeah, there you go. It's good. I like it.
Holy shit, did you read them the entire script? Fuck, it's a synopsis. It's not a goddamn lecture.
Yeah, but we've got to win. Yes, but it's the detail level. We've got to win, haven't I? Got to win some.
Oh my god. Simple. The Picard. These Vulcans that are not Vulcans, but are related to Vulcans, but are on this planet, and they got a duck blind set up, and they're watching the people, and the duck blind goes awry, and the guy gets injured, and so they find him, they drag him out, they don't know what to do, because they're all freaked out because of the God thing, even though they've given up God a long time ago. And so they send Riker and Deanna down and in disguise, and they say they're from the North, they're the Northerners. Must be stubborn-headed like the Romulans that are Northerners. And I think they call them, Proto-Vulcans or something. It's just weird that they're related to Vulcans somehow. I thought that was stupid. But anyway, yeah. So they start believing in this god. They see, um, they hear about Picard through the communicator and stuff, and eventually they have to bring the one lady, up to the ship to prove to her that he's not a god, and she thinks he's a god because you can see her planet. And meanwhile, the scientist guy is injured and is going to die, and they need to like get him back to the ship. Um, Picard at one point gets shot, and it's hey, I'm not a god. See, even though, yeah. Anyway, and then he does his Picard speech and talks to them about how, you know, I'm not a god and blah blah blah. And I don't remember exactly how it ends, but anyway, it's all happy ending, and they end up going, you know, away.
Okay. Fun times. No, I think I remember quite liking this one for the Picard speechy stuff.
This is a great episode of Trek.
Yeah.
A little bit drawn out in spots, I think, but overall very good. I don't remember if there's a B plot. I don't think there is.
I think there's probably one like Data, like a tiny one, like a Allwood Wharf. But this is, I remember, a very mature episode. Like in themes, not like sex themes, just like they handle the subject matter very strongly. Yeah. And all he brought was the Darcy Rook. What are you about, Norman? What are you on about? Mr. It's funny. It's funny that, you know, I have the internet problems and yet he's the one that isn't. Because if I can still be streaming, then clearly I'm not. Anyway, hello, here he is. Yeah.
All right, there we go. I'm back.
I guess I win that one just.
I wouldn't say just. It was a tie, but close. But
well, I mean,
Jersey, I'll give it to Foley for being more succinct.
Well, I mean, people say me. So that's not a tie. More people say me.
I know. That's why you said, but just, and I was disagreeing with you because you clearly won it.
Sorry.
It wasn't just.
Okay. Right.
Listen.
What?
Listen. See, exactly. What?
Who are you?
Exactly.
My
name's
I know
Fred.
You? I feel like I've met you before.
You wish.
Have we talked before? I don't know. This is very confusing for me. Oh, dear.
All right, so next up.
Yes, good luck.
Oh, the bonding. The bonding. Okay, first of all, he has the thumbnail wrong. It's bonding. So no you. So everybody in the chat, tell him right now that it's supposed to be bonding, not bounding. Anyway, he can't hear me, so you guys have to tell him. This is about this kid, Jeremy, I think his name is. His mother gets killed. She's an archaeologist, gets killed on an away mission, and he's all like sad. And then he talks to Counselor Troy, and this isn't the kid that emulates Data. This is the kid that hangs out with Worf, I think. And, well, yeah, because you can relate to Worf because Worf's parents also died. But anyway, I think his mother comes back at some point because of some alien thing. I don't remember. Something about his mother coming back, I think. And then the mother disappears or whatever. I just don't remember the ending of this one. Yeah, that's about all I remember from this one. This one isn't too memorable for me. I remember the kid's kind of creepy and annoying, and he's from RoboCop 2. He's the drug dealer kid. So, yeah. That'll be my synopsis. Very quick. As synopsises should be.
Oh. He's not. Oh, is it? Yeah, I'm there. Again, not mine. In mine, it's not a problem right now. Weird. Weird. Mr. Stewart, where are you? Where have you gone? Or are you just looking very dramatically at me? It's very possible. But I don't think it. Daft. It's daft, I tell ye. It won't have started until I start, so... There he is.
All right, so did you hear that you got the title wrong? It's the bonding, not the bounding.
Which is annoying because I was looking at them as I was doing them.
And did I drop out during that? Because I don't know if they missed anything.
No, it was just right after you waved and then you went away.
Okay.
By like that second.
Olivia Julius, $5. Star Trek episodes explained badly, brought to you in part by Trek Yards. We should do a drunk history, but drunk Star Trek, where we get drunk, like actually drunk when we start, and have to do the synopsises while we're drunk. That'd be hilarious. And quote lines from the movie. That'd be awesome. Or the episode.
We've talked about that. I mean, this last one was tipsy, which obviously helped. But yeah.
And Jarzia, $5. Interestingly, Worf and Alexander join the House of Martok, and Korn becomes Radek. Jeremy Astor is technically the last member of the House of Moog.
That might have been a spoiler.
Sorry, guys. Keep those until we've both done our synopsis, guys. But thank you.
The key is don't read the chat because they interact with who's talking. Anyway,
I've been talking to Sylvia while we've been waiting.
The bonding. So this is the one where a crew member dies, a lady crew member, and the son is then left without a guardian, and the kid sees either Data saves him or sees him along the journey, and then looks up to him because he's the savior, and then mimics him quite effectively throughout the story. Doesn't want to leave him. Doesn't changes his hair, changes his uniform. Even talks and acts like him. It's quite adorable, really. And Data teaches him, accepts it at first, and sort of embraces it as you could be very effective. And then I think I'm assuming Troy doesn't think this is healthy. He's repressing his feelings about his mum rather than actually expressing them, repressing by being an android rather than using them. And so he convinces Data to convince the kid not to actually go through with that and to accept it. And I think we either see a holodeck simulation of the mum or something kind of direct, and it makes him cry, and then he gets out of this mindset, and then I think that the auntie or the uncle get him at the end, and it's all sad but kind of nice that dealing with trauma in its own way, and the kid's reasonably well acted in it, and it's definitely a Data story about emotions and having fun with what is Data in terms of his mannerisms.
All right. Justin Hampton, $2. Oh my God, wrong episode, Commander. What the fuck? Yeah, who won that one, guys? Let us know. Captain Wins says Devo77X. Captain Wins, Commander is mixing up episodes. Yeah. Yep.
Looks like the same kid, though.
Not. Captain for the win.
That's all I have to go on, though. I mean, the bonding and the kid would make sense. Why wouldn't...
I know, but... I know which episode you're thinking of, and...
Which one's this one, then? Because that...
This is the one where the archaeologist's mother dies, and the kid's obviously sad, but the alien on the planet feels sorry for him, so he comes up and mimics his mother, and Troy has to convince him that it's not his mother, and then he joins the House of Moog, essentially, and bonds with Worf.
None of that rings a bell, so okay. Don't even know that episode, as far as I... If you say so.
Yeah, the one you're thinking of is Hero Worship.
So there's two different mum dies and likes another crew member episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't even know this episode then. None of that rings a bell.
There you go.
Even though when he said it, I remembered it from doing the thumbnail scroll, the lady, but I guess I haven't seen this episode, or haven't seen it since I was young. Completely unmemorable, I guess. Okay. Booby Trap.
Love this episode. You go first, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sovereign 5062 or €5. I thought we already had Drunk Trek, or what would you call Picard and Disco otherwise? All right. Go.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good one. They stumble upon this ancient, rather cool alien ship. Don't remember what it's called. Like a Tarkin or something, maybe. And it's a really cool, because very enamored by the coolness of this old warship of a very powerful old race. And they be on board, and you get this kind of cool set, lots of dust. and this alien who's still vaguely not scared. I think he's actually kind of maybe slightly preserved. And they managed to open his records, and you get T.M. Act, the alien captain, saying how they, like 1,000 years ago, they got stuck in this this asteroid because it turns out it's not actually a derelict. It's a booby trap. It was lost here, and then other ships come in trying to find this ancient, awesome historical race of whatevers, and it powers down the Enterprise and really powers it down to the point of they're almost dead. And then they have to work out a way because they can't use any impulse. And I think there's probably something like the more force you put in, the more force you lose. Because the payoff for the episode is rather very, very cool actually. RCS thruster jaunt to escape because it's like using inertia and using the least amount of force and trying to get through with that. I think Picard parts it as well, and it's really nice shots of the RCS going, and they managed to get their way out of the booby trap by using the least force, and they do at the end despite the hardship. And I think they do download the computer, so it's fine. But they have the torpedo or phaser or whatever. I think torpedo destroy the ship because they don't want to trap other people, and it's sad because this is an ancient piece of historical stuff. But they are happy at least they got to see it because it's cool.
Hello, everyone. This is Captain Foley back. All right, so this is one of my favorite episodes of Trek ever. So I know it quite well. The Permelian Battlecruiser. Basically, they find this old Permelian Battlecruiser, and it's exactly as they left it, like a ship in a bottle. And it's the whole "none of you build ships in bottles" in the transporter room discussion. But they go into the asteroid field to investigate and learn about it because Picard loves this kind of thing. This is kind of his jam. And anyway, it's a booby trap. They use the ships like this as decoys to pull enemies in and then drain their power. And so the Enterprise can't get out. So they need to find a way to do so. Geordi goes down to the holodeck, recreates Leo Brahms and the Galaxy-class construction or development project, and try to find a way to get out of this pickle that they're in. Every power curve they throw at it just keeps draining the ship more and more and more. Eventually they find the solution, and well, Geordi makes an ass of himself because he can't talk to real people, and kind of has the thing for Leah. But to finally get out, they actually reduce all the power, give themselves a little burst, and then Picard he takes over the helm and steers the ship because he wanted to do that. So, and then they end up destroying the Permelian Battlecruiser, unfortunately. Now, the really cool thing is they find the logs of the captain, the old captain's logs, which are kind of neat. And it goes back to what I was saying in my one Captain's Live, or Captain Foley Live, when I was on by myself talking about computer programs and how these new advanced computers can't operate an old program with 256 color palette for some reason because they're stupid. Eventually, they do get the captain's log, though, and it's kind of garbled and stuff, but it's because it's old. Thousands of years old. So, anyway, there we go. That's it. I love this episode.
Cool. Didn't know it was the Brahms episode, so that's fun.
Sovereign says Cap wins this one. Captain wins, had the B plot and synopsis. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I got all the Permelian stuff, but I didn't. I wouldn't have said the Brahms stuff was in it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. So sorry, I've been watched this one quite a few times. So
yeah, I've watched most of TNG twice, maybe, and like I said, not for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So a lot of the stuff is muscle memory and like what do I remember. Slash a few I actually do enjoy and watch because I don't tend to watch Trek again because it's good unless it isn't, sort of thing.
Yes.
Back. Okay.
All right, so we got Zaraxis $2. Behold the glorious Permelian Battlecruiser. Yep. And Sovereign 506 says €5. Dr. Leah Brahms in the Enterprise, the 1701D in dry dock was really cool. It wasn't in dry dock; it was actually in like a
testing
more
facility.
Like a space dock. Yeah, like a testing facility.
As well as where the engines are being tested and built and stuff.
Yeah. Also, a nice scene when Picard is taking the helm. A very good episode.
Very good scene, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only time in all of Star Trek pretty much we see the RCS thrusters.
And one
Like-
of the best bloopers, where I think it's Data, Worf on the transporter pad, Picard's coming up, and it's just like it was number one, like a ship in the bottle. Everybody kind of looks at him funny. He's like, "What? Did none of you play with ships and bottles as boys?" And Worf says, "I never played with boys." That's just a great blooper. Anyway, there you go. So I guess it's my turn for the next one.
Yes. Good luck.
Ooh. All right, episode 7, The Enemy. This is where something happens. I don't know what. But there's a Romulan that's injured, and somehow I don't remember exactly a lot of it, but LaForge meets up with this Romulan, and they're both stuck on the planet together. And then LaForge ends up losing his visor, or it stops working. So the two of them have to start working together. So they're enemies that have to work together and rely on each other. And yeah, it's the TNG's version of Enemy Mine, but not the exact ripoff like it was in Enterprise. I think there's something in there about Worf refusing he could help the one Romulan, but refuses to because, Romulans and Klingons have a thing. So, and Dr. Crusher's really pissed at him too because he has the ability to help this one Romulan, and he refuses to with a blood transfusion or something. And yeah, so because he's a stubborn asshole, the guy actually dies, and yeah, it's kind of held against Worf a little bit, but not so much. Anyway, that's it. Simple. And I don't remember how the crash happens. Later. Paul N, $5. What is the best ship in Starfleet, and why is it the USS Saladin? Because it looks like a lollipop.
Okay, this is what I quite like, because it's actually an interesting episode. It changes the paradigm a little bit that other ones don't tend to. So they are I think on their side of the neutral zone, or as they do tend to go in the neutral zone, is one of the two. It's a weirdly, it's more comfortable a situation. That's the surprising bit. And they get a distress signal of some kind. It's weak, I'm assuming. And they go to the planet and they beam down, and it's lightning storms. It's causing havoc. That's why they only detect it's a signal, but not who it's sent by. And they beam down, and it's Geordi, and I'm sure someone else. And obviously the other person must be able to get a beam away. And Geordi at some point in the barely can see, barely can whatever. And there's so many electrical storms. He can only see through EM, and it's it's causing him what used to be a strength is now a weakness. And he falls down this big chasm, this big hole, and he goes in this place. And they must have found the Romulan ships. They vaguely know that Romulans are there or some such, and they meet up with this guy who's part of a 2-man, and the other guys, or 2 or 3 man, the other 2 or 1 are dead. And he survived. He's just on this planet by himself, and I'm pretty sure it must have been a spy. He must have been research, a spy information gatherer. And he meets up with with Geordi, and he can use his eyes, but he can't use his legs because he's broke his leg in the fall. And Geordi is fine but can't see, and so they while have these wonderfully tense conversations and wonderfully you're the enemy. Well, you're the enemy. You're on my side of the neutral zone. I hate you. Blah, blah, blah. They eventually have to say, well, we have to work together to get out of this situation. We literally cannot, without symbiotic relationship, get out of this situation. And so they manage to walk their way out of the chasm or hole or some situation enough to get to a clearer place, use because the distance down in the surface stops the signal of the communicator. They get out, they manage to beam away while the crew's looking for them, but there's nothing to detect until they get a certain distance. And they beam aboard, and they're surprised it's a Romulan because they didn't know until they beamed up. And suddenly, oh my god, this Romulan Deredex comes in, and it's very threatening. I'm sure it's Tomalak, good old Tomalak, or the other one. There's not that many Romulans. and they're like, give us back our guy, because I think this is like either the nephew or it's not the son, it's like the nephew of the guy maybe, or some sort of specialist guy. He's very like, I'm gonna destroy if you don't give him back, or what have you done with him? And they definitely don't believe that the other guys are dead, and that Federation just didn't kill them, and so they have to bring the guy up to the bridge to then talk to them, and says, no, they've been nothing but good. You can't attack. They're honourable. I'm just going to come back with you. It'll be fine. We'll be done. Being off the bridge, they leave, and they have this weird, nicely weird camaraderie of everything they went through. And Geordie respects the Romans a lot more, seeing them as not just the one-dimensional villains, but as being people that happen to follow this cause. And it's good. It's a good story. It's been seen before, but it's good. Oh, yeah.
I was listening. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Olivia Julius, $5.
Thank you.
What's the worst class in Starfleet, and why is it the Prometheus? That's not very nice. All right, so who wins this one?
And Drew0001 says, still hoping you guys are a live watch along at some point. Don't think we will, because we can't show it, and we can't do the audio either, which means I can't listen to it. I have to listen, like, that'd be really confusing. I have to have like a separate computer to watch, and then people will tune in and just see a blank screen of us looking at nothing and us responding, and there might be a time code on it maybe, but it wouldn't be interesting. Like, I'm not really interested in watch alongs personally unless I can see it. I know that, like, I listen to Red Letter Media commentaries, but I know like Terminator 2 so well I can just listen to it and not even know the movie. I'm not interested in them. I don't think they'd be. You guys would not super chat for them, therefore they're not worth doing. Sorry.
Yeah. Dimaz says Commander wins. Ozzy says Captain Foley wins. Ozzy says Foley wins. Enterprise E says Captain wins. See above comment. Worf let that Romulan die. Okay. Supercoop says tough call. Darren says Commander wins. That sounds like a tie to me.
Yeah.
Supercoop says I think it's a draw. Colin says everyone wins. LOL. There you go. That's a good way to leave it. Next up.
Next up is the price.
And you go first, right?
Yes. Cool.
Okay.
The price is actually kind of a nice one because you get the three-dimensionality of the of the Ferengi. They're not villains in the same way. There's this planet that is rich in, I think, dilithium, and they aren't sure about being part of the Federation. They want to barter and see who can offer them the best rights to get their resources. And this is lady with the like a braces detail because she's alien and she's cool. And the Federation get there, and Picard's surprised that everyone else is there. And you have this human chap who's a telepath who knows Troy, and he's representative for a certain consortium. You have the Ferengi, you have Vulcan, I believe. No, Klingon, but you get a Vulcan. And they negotiate around a table. They're all offering to try and get things. Turns out this guy, who is a telepath, is actually more powerful than he is led on. He can actually influence emotions. And when he's in the negotiations, he can kind of like read people with a secret in telepathy. Something like there's some underhanded, and he uses power to get the upper hand on the negotiations. And Troy really doesn't like this, as you wouldn't. And everyone keeps offering money, and you get gold plus Latin for the first time. And the Ferengi are really kind of fun in this, but a little bit devious. I believe it turns out that the dilithium, or whatever the planet has, isn't quite as good as they thought. And that's the fun reveal that our characters discover that first. And because this is not the wormhole episode, this is a different episode. And the telepath guy that Troy used to sleep with, and I think does sleep with again in this episode, because he manipulates her. That's important. He ends up getting the rights, but it's revealed to be not as worth it. And then it's fun, like bittersweet moment at the end where everyone's like, "We did a good job bartering, but for basically nothing. So good job, mate." And he's like, "Yeah, I like it."
All right. So the price. This is the benzine wormhole thingy episode.
Is it though, or is it the other one?
No, it's this one.
Okay, it's this one. Because I thought it wasn't this one. I thought it was the other one. Okay.
No, it's this one. You got the half Beta Z or part Beta Z guy that's like romancing Deanna and being a creepy freaking, like a super creep. I don't know. He's creepy. Anyway, you got the Ferengi that are there trying to make the deal, and basically they think the Federation's screwing them, so they want to get in on everything. And Geordi and Data go out in the shuttlecraft, sort of the Ferengi, and they go to the other side of the wormhole. 'Cause it's supposed to be a stable wormhole.
Yeah, I thought it
Get to
wasn't
the other
that one,
side.
so I ignored that stuff because I thought it was the other one. Damn.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
It was about
Um,
dilithium.
but yeah, and then the Geordi and Data get back, and the Ferengi get stuck in the Delta Quadrant. And there's an episode of Voyager all about that,
Which
which
is a
great.
great one.
Yeah, and this we get to see the Barzan people, and they have the things on their face, and we see that in Discovery. So yay, Discovery!
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, that's basically it for this one. But I hate the guy in this episode. I just want to punch him in the face every time I see him. Hi, Deanna. Yo. I hate him so much. Anyway, there we go. Who wins this one? Captain wins already. But you kind of said that he's got it mixed up. So.
Well, no, I just, I said earlier, I was like, oh, this is the other one because I thought it was about dilithium and they offered to send money. So I knew, I remembered all that stuff. I just thought it was a different one.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I love the Ferengi follow up in Voyager. I think it's one. It's like season 1. And it's like such a clever, like it was in their laps. Yeah. Well, it's not the same two actors, which is annoying, but the two actors they do get are brilliant. So.
All right. So next up is episode 9, the Vengian.
The Vengian. That doesn't tell me anything. I'm not with the thumbnail.
I know. Well, it's my turn to go first.
Okay. Good luck.
This will be a short one. So these people want the gatherers to come home or something, and this lady who can kill people with her touch is like the assistant to this dude, and Riker has Riker has this like the thing for her, and Marina Sirtis' husband is in this episode. I know that. That's all I know about this episode because this is really one that I don't care for.
Hello.
Oh, we haven't changed the thumbnail yet, but it's a bit.
Any super chats, Stuart? Oh, I can't
Nope.
hear you. That's why I was like, why isn't he talking? Because I can't hear you. That's why. There you go, because I could hear you too much last time. Right, any super chats, Stuart?
No.
Oh, okay. This one is the one where there's the big guy who's very loud, and there's the lady who's also big and kind of mean, and they're on this planet, and there's a war, and the Federation are brought in, and you get this great conversation at the end where Picard is there on this table, and they're like yelling at each other about land and stuff, and he's like, "But what do you think?" And there's this lady, and she's actually I think a spy, either spy for the other side or like an assassin. And they're trying to help they're trying to diplomacy this place, and they're like bikers, they're like space bikers with really rundown stuff, and it's quite a good set considering, like they commit to it, and it turns out that I think the guy you think is more the baddie, who's more mean, is actually nicer, because at least while being a dickhead is more honourable than the people who are all pristine and look nice and are better made up and have a better city, who aren't the biker guys. They're they got this lady, and she's trying to assassinate them and destroy the entire thing, and it's like, yes, they might look nicer, is the moral of the story. They might look nicer, might act nicer, but in the end they're gonna just genocide these people. And then at the end there's like she like has a gun, she starts shooting, and Riker's like, no, don't do it, and either he kills her or disables her, and like is very disappointed, but she like kisses him at some point and tries to use him as well. But it's a nice like juxtaposed one, and making you think one way and then really it's the other. And then Picard ends up managing to make a truce or something similar. And I think at the end, the guy, he's got like paint like she has, but it's red. I think he's like, you know what, Ambassador lady, who's not the one in the picture, but the bigger lady, you're actually kind of hot. And she's like, ugh. But it's like, yes, they could have a future together as two peoples. There you go.
I don't know if you won that one or not, because.
Well, what did you remember?
Nothing of that. Just that they wanted to get the gatherers back. The lady has the death touch things. Riker has the hots for her.
Ah.
And what else?
Okay.
That's about it.
So as soon as I remember the two people, all these memories flooded back of like the situation.
Sam wins. Commander wins. Captain wins. I don't think I won that one. Yeah, Sam took it, says Rob Green.
Which is funny because the thumbnail is so like non-helpful.
I know.
Defector.
Demas says captain.
But we already did Defector, so that's fine. So we'll skip Defector. We all know Defector. The Hunted. That's me first, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
I really like this one. This is very memorable for me. This character actor is excellent. It's good data episode. So this guy is a prisoner of a planet. It's actually of Zephyrin Cochrane's planet, with a moustache. One of his many roles. And yeah, that you get this shot at the start with a freighter, reused freighter, you know, miniature, and it gets he gets rescued by it. They're escaping. It's a prison ship, and they're escape.
Change the thumbnail.
Change the thumbnail? What do you mean? What? What do you mean?
What?
Maybe not.
Change the thumbnail because it's got still the Vingian or whatever, which I think is spelled wrong, by the way.
Well, I'm on the Hunted, so...
Oh, my thing must be really delayed.
Yeah, yeah. Really confused. Okay.
Sorry, continue.
That's okay.
Just ignore the captain.
Okay. Yeah, so then, yeah, he comes aboard and he gets captured but once he's revealed to be a criminal. But it turns out he's genetically engineered to be, I think, mineral, like a miner, because he's extra strength, extra smart. Gets captured and very quickly breaks out in a really excellent scene. He has so much charisma and stuff. I think Data talks to him about, you know, you're a slave and is it worth being a slave? But at least you're, you know, alive and such. And then he gets out and he manages to he gets phasers. Every time he gets a phaser, he has it as a trap. He uses it as a destruction, as a blowy uppy. He uses it to hit a force field. You get a great thing shot where all the force fields and all the different corridor pieces come on. It's great. He runs around the ship. Jeffrey Tubes maybe, don't remember. And you get a thing in the shoulder bay at the end where he puts a phaser. He opens up, cool detail. It's the Cobra phasers finally, and it goes self-destruct. Almost would, and then Data stops it when he agrees to like stop being a, you know, murdered terrorist person. And I don't remember if he escapes at the end. I don't remember the exact ending, but I really enjoy this one with the interesting sense of, you know, following this guy escape the Enterprise and the Cochrane's fun as a guy from Babe, guy from Cochrane, is fun in it, and it's an interesting sense of, yeah, is it right to do what he did, and I think they also have a very stringent policy on criminals because the planet's like, oh, we're all civilized and we've got all this cool tech and stuff, but we like send anyone who does anything to a prison planet, and he's like, this is unjust and this is ridiculous and we've got to be more criminal, you know, if they treat us like criminals, should we be like criminals? But I really like this one. Yeah, so it's good.
All right, so the Hunted. Yep, there's a guy who's hunted. He's ex-military. He's broken out of prison. Maybe I think he steals a prison ship and tricks the crew of the Enterprise with the moon behind a moon, or something. I don't remember much of this one, honestly. Zephyrin Cochrane's in this one. Not as Zephyrin Cochrane, though. As a governor or whatever. But
although it could be his like great-great-granddad where he ended up. Who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah. But yeah, that's all I remember. This one's kind of for me.
I've always really enjoyed this one. I love the chase of the Enterprise and the phaser tricks, and I thought it was a really good actor. Like, really fun to watch. I've actually watched this one a couple of times. Yeah, I actually enjoyed this one.
Well, I think you probably won that one.
Well, that'd be nice. I just remember the actor being really good.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't remember much of this one, honestly.
Yeah. Says, I never understood how the guy got through a force field. It's because he can take the pain, and a force field, you know, it's about how, you know, it's a field, but it's still a tangible thing. And I guess he, you know, if he could deal with enough, you know, genetically engineered to be stronger and better and deal with stuff, and yeah.
Okay.
Yay. Good. All right, next one is the High Ground with a lady who isn't the lady I think she is, but I keep thinking she's someone else that isn't who she is. And this was a really hard one to find a thumbnail for, and even having done that, I don't remember anything about the episode because it's so memorable to me. So that's a little tease to.
All right.
Good luck.
All right. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I don't remember much of the plot. I just know that Beverly gets kidnapped by this group of rebels who use this like transphasic transporter thing that fucks their DNA, and she's got to try to help them because they're dying because they use it, but they're fighting against the government who thinks they're better than everybody else. And then Picard goes down and he gets kidnapped, or does voluntarily gets kidnapped, and him and Beverly are talking. There's things that happen. This is like a not memorable one, let's put it that way. But I just remember the warp thing that they use to transport, which messes up their DNA, and it gives them the advantage. Yep, it's one of those Rebels episodes. So, meep.
I probably paused again.
Justin Hampton, $1 with no comment. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm done. This was another one that I vaguely remember, but
this is a lawyery one where Riker's the main character, and there's a society that I think is about the death penalty and about the acceptance of, you know, absolute authority, absolute punishment for finite crimes, and therefore, you know, no crime. And it might be this episode or not, where she ends up talking to Worf a lot, and he starts out admiring her in her ways, and then by the end is like, yeah, even that's too much. I can't get behind just the complete not giving a shit about people's rights. That's it. Nothing about it. It's a very, you know, fascist-sticky society.
Who wins?
Nothing memorable about it whatsoever. Like I said, I probably saw this one once when I was like 9. Couldn't tell you anything about it.
Just 1 second.
Okay. But that's the kind of fun thing. So kind of ones you're like, I have no idea. But yeah.
Let's see. Kind of a tie.
Oh, okay.
Captain wins. Captain's got this one. This is this is the one where they have the transporter technology that screws with their DNA, and Beverly's down there. She got kidnapped. And
nope.
Anyway.
Doesn't ring a bell. Like I say, I guess I just think it's once when I was like 6. Nothing that said makes no idea.
Torres 69 puts in $2, 96 likes, 121 watching. Let's get to 150. Hashtag make Jeff pay.
You should.
122 people. Hit like, guys.
But the next one, though, that'll be a tough one. Deja Q.
All right, I guess you're going first, right?
Yes. Q's back, baby. The Continuum don't want him, and so he wants to live aboard the Enterprise because, hey, he's done some bad things and has to be punished, and so he is forced into human form. He is naked, and John Delancey was actually naked with his thingy out in front of the crew and cast. That's all fun, and it's actually a really sweet episode. He's not all-powerful, but he's still got the same ego, but not quite. It's probably one of his best episodes, and he tries to find a place for himself on the crew, but the fact is he's got lots of knowledge, but no power and no real ambition and no want. He asks for a uniform. It's ridiculous. He's not given it. He's wants to help, but he can't really, and he talks to Guinan, and that's pretty interesting, and she stabs him with a fork to prove that he's human, because that's the only way, and she's like, you're a crazy woman, and everyone's like, Guinan. And yeah, it's about him not appreciating anything, and by the end he really wants his powers back, and then he leaves Enterprise because he realizes he can't do anything, he can't be anything, and in fact there's this great alien like cloud monster who wants to kill him, because guess what? When not all powerful, those you tormented for years want revenge as they come after him, and the Enterprise valiantly try and save him and try and protect him with shields and stuff, and it's really quite sweet. And then he's like, you know, I'm going to sacrifice myself because they're not going to stop, and you guys can't win. So he leaves in a shuttle, almost gets killed, and suddenly the other, the second Q, or the next Q ever seen, shows up, And he's actually pretty good. And he's in the shuttle, and he's like, aha, I stopped them. He's like, Q, yes, Q. It's really quite nice. He says, Q, you got your powers back, because guess what? You sacrificed yourself. I do? Yes, you do. Prove it. I will. And then he puts the alien creature back in his hand. He's like, now you thought you were being tortured before. And the other Q's like, he's already disappeared at this point. He's like, Q, what did we tell you? And he's like, never mind. And he him away. So he's kind of learned to be less of a dick. And then he thanks everyone with the mariachi band at the end, and gives people cigars, and it's fun, and he's really happy. And he shares the happiness with everyone. And it's good. Good one. It's one of the best of this season, probably.
All right, Deja Q. Naked Q shows up. He's powerless. Q basically said he could be anything. He wanted to be human and hang out with his best buds in the whole galaxy. So he comes over with the Enterprise. Lots of little jokes for him being hungry, and Guinan stabs him in the hand. And it turns out there's this alien that's like trying to get to him and is threatening the ship. And then somehow he gets his powers back because Q. Fun episode. That's all I remember.
Cool.
And Eugene, 500 rubles. Very clever, Worf. Eat any good books lately?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, this is definitely a highlight. I think this is probably one of Delancey's best performances, because he's the most like three-dimensional. He's not just a dick. He has to be. Yeah, I think this is a really good one.
Well, you win this one, so there you go.
I'll happily take it.
Right. Next is Matter of Perspective. Ooh.
Yes, that's you again. Okay.
I get to go first.
I'll say have fun with this one, not good luck, because this is a fun one.
These are some of my favorite kind of episodes where you see things from different people's perspectives. This is one where Riker gets charged with murder of the scientist, and the whole thing is essentially a trial that's going on in the holodeck. And you get to see things from different people's perspectives and how they see what happened, how the conversation went. And you get to see different perspectives. I love seeing these kind of things, just because it's interesting to see how people twist things in their memory. But yeah, it turns out that they thought he was having an affair with the wife, and as a result, as he was beaming up, he murdered the guy, and then the thing blew up. Turns out it was the other way around. The scientist had a thing against Riker. I think it was for either stopping his research or because of the wife thing, because he had suspicions. I think his wife was after Riker, but Riker wasn't quite interested in his wife. So as Riker was beaming up, he fires a phaser at Riker, and it bounces off the transporter force field and hits the reactor that he was working on, which caused an explosion. So from the point of view of the investigation, it seemed like the phaser blast came from Riker's position, because it did. It just was bouncing back from that position. So that's that one. Fun episode, very fun to watch, and kind of a court